Hi guys, I'm going to go over how I made the Life is Good Today Beach Tumbler that you were asking me about. I'm just going to show you how I got my colors on my tumbler. I started off with a white spray painted tumbler, which I've already did to save time for the sake of this video. I used the Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra cover, and I used the white primer. I used FX epoxy for my cups, and I do use the Aluminite dyes. I'm going to tell you, I've already mixed my epoxy up. I mixed 2 ounces of part A to 2 ounces to part B. So I do have that ready. I have 6 different colors for Aluminite dyes. I have Aluminite dye brown, ocean blue, blue, the orange, the red, and the white. Now on my beach tumbler, I didn't do the red and the orange. I just did the blues and the brown and the white. I'm going to try to make this one with a sunset on it. I have a friend that is wanting a beach tumbler, and instead of Life is Good Today on it, she wants the word sunshine. So I'm going to try to do the sunset. So I mixed my epoxy up. I put 6 different cups out, 1 for each color of my dye. I'm going to put 1 drop of each color in each cup. It does not take much. The Aluminite dyes are very strong. In the brown is super dark. I have a stirring stick for each color. That is really important. Don't mix your stirring sticks. You don't want to mix your colors together. I just mix it up. 1 drop of my Aluminite dye with a little bit of epoxy in the cup. The brown's really dark. So I take my white and I add a little bit of white to it to make a light brown for my sand. Mix it up really well, and there you have it. Okay, so I'm going to start the first step. I'm going to leave each stirring stick in my cup, that way, in each color, that way it doesn't get sat down and get mixed up with a different color. Mix these up real quick. Set this out of the way. Okay. First, I'm going to take my epoxy. And I have my cup turning. Let me fix it. I'm going to put it on my cup. I'm going to put a liberal amount on it. Please be sure whatever you do is put a coat of epoxy on your cup before you start putting the dyes on. This is what's going to make your colors move and flow. If you do not put the epoxy on the cup before you start adding the color, you're going to have one big mess. I know. I did it earlier today. I was doing a video for y'all, and I got ahead of myself. I've never done a video for anyone showing them how I'm doing stuff, so I kind of was nervous got ahead of myself. Forgot to put the epoxy, coat of epoxy on the cup. And it turned out to be a big fat blob. So, word to the wise, make sure you coat your cup with epoxy before you start adding your colors. Make sure you get the bottom, the edge. And you do not have to use your finger, your bare finger. I do for my clear coat. That's just simply my personal preference. People say don't use your bare finger because of the oils and stuff like that. And that's fine. You don't have to. My personal preference is to use my bare finger. So I have a liberal amount of epoxy on this white cup. Smooth it out just a little bit. I have the epoxy on my hands. I do use the diaper wipes to get it off while it's wet. Works wonders. Now, you will need gloves for this. You don't want those colors all over your hand. Bear with me. So I will start with my brown sand. Just put it on there. And coat it good with your brown. Now I only have like maybe a quarter cup of epoxy in each one of these cups. It goes a long way. You already have epoxy on the cup. I choose just a quarter cup because I didn't want to waste my epoxy. Okay, so I spread that on. Change your glove after each color. Okay, now I'm going to use the ocean blue. I do leave a little bit of the white between the colors. That'll all get blended in the end. Smooth that out just a little. There's really no right or wrong way to do this. I really didn't know what I was doing when I started. I just went with it. There are some tutorials on some of the Tumbler groups. I think Feather Bear has one. Several people have one. This dark blue, well, actually it's just called blue. I'm going to use some of this here. I'm going to use a little bit of this. I'm not going to use a whole lot of the dark blue right at this point. I want to, I'm going to lighten the blue up a little bit with some white. And again, I leave a little bit of white between each color. If I have to change it, I'll go back, you know, later and change it. I have me an extra cup. I'm just going to scoop a little bit of the blue dye out. And I'm going to add a little bit of white with it because I want to make a lighter blue even. I'm just going to drizzle it on. I'm sorry. You couldn't see me with my hand in the way there. Okay, then I'm going to do the orange for the sky. Again, I'm going to leave a little bit of the white. I did not change my glove. Let me change my glove right quick. I'm going to put the red up at the top. Just drizzling the red on. Okay, I know it looks like a hot mess. It'll be okay. Now, I'm gonna get that done. Take my little heat gun that I got from Harbor Freight. And turn it on. I'm gonna blend these colors right quick for the epoxy set prep. I'm trying to aim it up toward the top of the cup so I can mix that orange up in with that red. And as you can see, as I'm pushing it up, I see the reds, you know, there's some white going on, and that's okay. I'm going to bring it down a little bit and mix some of this blue. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. Okay, got it good and spread out. Now this is where I go back with my white, or I go in with my white. And I just use very little white in random places on my cup. Just drizzle it. I'm gonna take my heat gun. I'll move that white around. Now you don't want to leave the heat gun on the cup too long, or you blend your colors away. As you can see, a little bit of the white worked into the sky, how the red and the orange blend it together, some of the blues up in here to make the sky, some of the white in there also, then the 3 blues that I have, some of it turned green, and that's okay because sometimes there's parts of the ocean that are green, and then your sand. Now I'm going to let this turn. This is all going to blend for a couple hours, and then we will come back and see where we are with the colors and how it's blended. Then we'll put the decals on. So this, if you have any questions, please leave me a comment and I will come back and answer it. But we're going to leave this sit here and turn for a little while and mix the colors together.